Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dare say. Isn't that right, Terry? Terry should be joining us any second. Uh, all the way from down the smoke down London. What an eventful weekend we've just had. With the boxing, Campbell, Hands of Foam Hatton. Got beat on points in a little barnstormer. Fought his little heart out, didn't he? Terry Harper. We'll come to her shortly. She quit, in my opinion, on stool after the fourth round. Quit. Fighting as a welterweight. A lot of people are saying she should fight Jonas next and blah, blah, blah. We're looking at them both at the moment. I think Natasha Jonas would probably light her up. Would really, really light her up. But, it is what it is. But where did they go now after that? I mean, laughing and joking after the fight and high-fiving your opponent after all what was said beforehand. And this is why I don't really buy into all this fake beef and intense beef and that, because when have we ever seen a fight, right, where there's intense beef and after there's still intense beef? We've never seen that, have we? So, hello, mate. How are you? You all right, lad?
Hey?
Hey? What happened at weekend, mate?
With what?
Terry Harper, what happened?
We've talked about it for a while, haven't we? Where we've asked, does she really want to box?
Yeah.
It's like as soon as the pressure comes on, she just shuts down.
Mm. Well, I was told that years ago. Listen, she's a great athlete. She can run all day long. She can run like the wind. But it's not a running competition, is it?
Now it's a fight. And what makes fighting unique, Russ, is you have to impose your will on someone who's trying to impose their will on you.
Mm.
So it's not like running where you just got to tell yourself to take another step. It's like, no. The only way I'm going to win is by beating another human being.
Yeah. Looking at Terry Harper's weight now, there's not a lot of people are going to make an issue about this. Obviously, us who know our boxing, we're going to pull her up on this and her team around her. And I don't want this to sound like I'm having a dig at Graham Ricks, the trainer, because at the end of the day, he's done well for her, I think, so far. But I think she's gone as far as she can go ability-wise. And I think if she's going to box, I mean, I'm hearing she wanted to box till she was 37, 38. That's another 10 year. She can't go on in this style, Terry, for 10 years. Do you think that?
No, I'm not taking that kind of punishment. No, imagine if Jonas started landing her shots on Terry Harper. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, you can imagine, can't you? A southpaw who can whack a bit. I mean, if you look at their records, I mean, a lot of people now are saying, well, why don't she just fight Jonas and cash out? I mean, is she deserving of that fight? They both had 18 fights. Jonas won 15, Harper 14. Both had a couple of losses. And Harper's had 2 draws against Jonas's one. But really, you'd say Jonas beat Harper first time, wouldn't you?
I think it's simpler than that. I just think Natasha Jonas punches too hard for Terry Harper. If Baumgartner's giving you trouble, Jonas will give you trouble.
Well, Terry Harper in a 13th fight weighed 129 and a quarter pound, and she got lit up. So if you're getting lit up at super featherweight, why would you be jumping to super welter and welter if you're getting lit up at that weight?
I think it's slightly different for women, Russ, in the sense that they can manipulate body fat a bit more.
Yeah.
So when you see someone like a Mayweather go from 135 to 147, they generally maintain similar levels of body fat, and that weight gain is lean muscle.
Yeah.
Whereas there'll be some lean muscle gain when Harper moves up from 130 to 154, but there'll also be some body fat that comes with that. So her going down to 147 may just be manipulating that excess body fat. So the amount of lean muscle may stay the same between 154 and 147, but there's probably an increase from 130 to 147. I just don't know how much that is.
Do you think she were a better fighter at the lighter weight?
I think because her problems are psychological, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Like Terry Harper, I mean, like, it wasn't like she was getting pummeled and her legs were going and she was bouncing here. It's almost like she just didn't know what to do, and she's like, I don't even want to do this anymore. That's what it looked like to me in the ring.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't even want to do this anymore. So it was more her just kind of wilting under the pressure and the realization that actually maybe this isn't what she wants to do forever.
She only made one adjustment, didn't she, in round 2 to change it up? There's got to be more adjustments over 4 rounds for that, but they're only 2-minute rounds, aren't they? So I kind of feel sorry for her, really, because there's not enough time to turn it around in a ring in that round, is there? To go through styles, because the bloke whistle for bell, don't sorry, they ring bell, don't they?
Yeah, you're right, but you're right. It's how do you put it? You've got to train for 2-minute rounds, right? So you've got to train for that sprint, which a lot of people don't do. Because when you see a lot of people sparring, they're doing the 3-minute rounds in the gym, and that's cool, but they're fighting like it's a 3-minute round. Even the women do this. Whereas what you need is, like, Sandy Harper just set about it. As soon as the bell went, right, let's have it. And that meant that Harper couldn't find opportunities to really get into the fight. Whereas at that point, she should have just said, as soon as Sandy starts letting her hands go, I'll let my hands go. And one of us is going to drop. And that would have calmed Sandy Ryan down as well.
Do you think, Terry, that there wasn't enough tactical awareness for her, that she tried a couple of things and then just sort of like quit on the stool? There weren't like 3 and 4 and 5 variations, were it? Whether to fall back on? Are you with me? And she just ran out of ideas. I don't think she were quit because she were hurt or she were tired. I think mentally she ran out of ideas, to keep the girl off her. Ryan, do you think?
Yeah, you're 100% right. You can't. It seems with women's boxing, you've just got to go for it. Like Katie Taylor's shown that as well. Once you've got that person in front of you that's just letting their hands go, there isn't time. There isn't time to wait and then come back with something. You've just got to get stuck in, or you got to punch so hard that they don't want to get close to you.
Do you think Terry's that used to staying on outside and running clock down that once somebody puts it on them, that it's alien it's alien to her in ring, and it's like it's all new to her, isn't it, kind of thing? Do you think because that style's that negative, the running and staying out of way, and it's 2-minute rounds, score a jab, get on your bike, kind of thing, that once somebody actually sets about her, she runs out of ideas? Do you think it's the pressure? She not got time to think.
That could be it. Like, and there are boxers like that who overthink it in there, and they're trying to turn it into a science when really it's just a damn fight. Get stuck in.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like felt sorry for her, really in 4th, because I thought she'll go back to the corner and regroup after 4th. It didn't. She just put her head down, and I was surprised he didn't turn around to her and say, "What you on about? You quitting? You've not hit the deck. You're not injured. What you on about? You quitting? We're going to do this. We're going to do that." I didn't see any of that. All I saw was, okay, you don't want to fight. That was it. None of that trying to talk it around. Like Mark Tim's tried with Billy Joe. There were none of that, were there?
Steffi knows this fighter. Well, there'd have been no point. We were all here saying, what should have happened. Steffi knows this fighter. Whatever you think about Steffi Bull, he knows this fighter. If he saw that it wasn't there, it wasn't there.
Do you think it were a good decision by him to pull her out?
She was just going to get beaten up.
Yeah,
so
saved her for another day.
I don't even. It's just save her dignity, I guess.
Looking at the weight, she started out 138, then she's gone 150, 130, 131, 135, 34, 34, 30. Then we've got 29, 29, 29, 29, 29. She had a good run there of 6 fights, same weight. Then you're going up to lightweight 133 and 152, 150, 50, 146. There's no consistency in one single weight class. So how can that lass know whether she can go out and let her hair down or eat this or do that? Because you never know what what weight you're gonna be at, do you?
What she shouldn't. I mean, if you're a pro, you shouldn't be going out anyway. Like you, what should happen is you should have your natural, just a fighting weight, right? Let's just say her fighting weight is, even if it's 135, right?
Yeah.
And she may have to do a lot of running and a lot of graft for that, really restrict her calories to make 135. So you may just say to her, look, we'll go a bit easy on the calories so you can get a bit more in you. And carrying that extra fluid, that extra fat may actually make her stronger. It may make her a better fighter because she's not losing all those micronutrients like your L-carnitines and arginines and stuff when she's doing the weight cut. So, but you know what? Weight is so complex, Russ, because no weight cut is the same.
No.
And a lot of times, mate, you're affected in different ways when you cut weight, depending on what falls out of your body. So there's so much to it. So it's not as simple as just, is the weight the right thing or the wrong thing? Because you know what? What we saw on the scales was someone in good shape. Not Katie Taylor. Terry Harper was in good shape, mate.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the issue. The issue was Sandy Ryan showed up, and Sandy Ryan said, "Let's have it."
Do you think?
And I don't think.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think Terry Harper wanted it.
Do you think Terry Harper is in shape? She's doing all numbers, doing all this, doing all the sessions, not missing anything. But something happens when she gets in that ring. Somebody hits her, and it's just a case of her trying to survive and stay out of the way. Then do you think sometimes fighters just don't like getting hit? Do you think her style's been designed for her to stay out of harm's way? And do you think Jonas put the blueprint out how to beat her?
Well, I think Baumgartner did, right? Baumgartner just went right, just whack her. Sandy took a different approach. Sandy just drowned her with work rate. I don't know how hard those shots were, but there were so many of them. And if you notice, they were coming from different positions. So it wasn't just Sandy Ryan throwing 8 straight shots. She was coming around the corner. She was coming through the middle, touched the body a bit. I mean, that must be like you getting punched by an octopus.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when she were mauling Terry up close and that, she were grabbing her and launching her across ring. Did you see that?
Yeah, she was letting
That,
people
doing
know.
that to a big 154 like that, just threw her across ring. It were like she were. I don't know. It looked to me like she might have been weight drained. Terry, do you think
Nah,
coming
not at
down
all.
in weight from that higher weight? Do you think that had an
Nah,
effect? Now,
nah.
do you think she's not?
I think we're trying to find excuses for what was just someone just who didn't fancy it.
Do you think it was just a bad night at office? I mean, what happened? I mean,
No, no, she didn't fancy it. It wasn't a bad night at the office. There was none of that. She knew that there was no way back, and she was like, "Why am I doing this?"
so where does she go now then if they put her in with Jonas at 154? Because that'd be a slaughter, wouldn't it, now?
I don't think that fight will happen. I don't think you have to worry about that. You know, Steffi thought he was clever. He thought if I go up to the same weight as Jonas, I'll have no choice but to fight me. That fight never happened. So then he was like, well, what's the point in having a belt at 154? There's no one there now. Because Jonas has come down to 147. So then Steffi brings Harper down to 147 because he's determined to make that fight. His ego has basically meant that he's butchered this young woman's career.
Well, when you look at it, Terry Harper's fought super feather lightweight, super light, welter, and super welter in 18 fights from age of 21 to 27 and a half. 18 fights and over 5 weight divisions. That is a record, I believe. Not only is it a record like she's done for women, she's gone from world champion at 130 to 154. That's a record as well, isn't it, for women? So she's setting
What about
records.
Serrano? Hasn't Serrano done like 7 or 8 weight classes?
Yeah, well, if it were men, it'd be a record, wouldn't it? Like Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather. It's rare, isn't it, to go from 130 to 154, isn't it? It's very, very rare, isn't it? She's first one in UK to do it, isn't she, Terry?
Oh. No, there's a few journeymen that have done that.
A few
It's not
journeymen that have won world records, Terry, with 24 pounds apart. Come on, who?
No. They're journeymen that will move in weight like that. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
unusual.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that, but I'm not on about picking belts up because Terry's a world champion, isn't she, at 2 different weights with 24 pound apart. That's because the talent pool's not there and they're jumping up and down these weights, these women. And I think sooner or later, like that Boom Gardner one, although that were a weight at the time, I think sooner or later we're going to end up with somebody injured. You know, we're just jumping up and down. Don't you think? Look at it like this. If Dennis McCann went from his weight and jumped in with Beefy Smith, what would we all say? We'd all say Beefy Smith's a bully, won't we? Or Dennis McCann's got a screw loose. Am I right?
Okay, but wait, hold on. But she jumped up to 154. And who did she fight? She fought Hannah Rankin, right?
Yeah.
Someone who she's more experienced and more skilled than.
Yeah.
Who else did she fight? She didn't fight a Hannah Gabriel. She didn't fight a Clarissa Shields. She didn't fight the people at that weight. And then at 147, she fought someone, I mean, who can fight back. And it went a bit wrong for her.
Yeah.
Because like you saw her whole body language, like it was just terror. See, Sandy Ryan came out with a point to prove, and almost I think it surprised Harper. That you said, where the hell does this come from? Because those two know each other, right, from sparring each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, all of a sudden something different came out in Sandy Ryan, and Harper just wasn't used to it.
Yeah. Like I said, my argument with it is this: 18 fights, she's only been settled in one weight, and that was for 6 fights. She got knocked out in the 6th by Boone Gardner. Then the panic set in. They've jumped from 130 to 154. Why not just go rematch Boone Gardner with a different game plan? Why not do that? And if you get beat, you go out on your shield, don't you? Then you make your move to a different weight. I don't know. Why sign for rematch? I can't get out of my head.
No, it's simple. They wanted the Jonas fight. Everything they've done has been for that Jonas fight. That's what it was.
Well, it looks to me from what I'm hearing that that's a bit gone. I'd like to see it, but I think there's too much bad blood in there now.
I don't think Harper's done anything recently to warrant that, for being honest.
Yeah.
She hasn't got that win. Now she's got to, as you'd say, Porky Russ, now she's got to roll the dice.
Yeah, she's got to roll. I mean, she's got that win over Anna Rankin, but that were a pick 'em for her, wasn't it, really? It were an easy win for them. They're not queuing up for an hard one now, are they? And, you know, where does she go? I mean, there isn't really anybody at 154 for her to fight that's a seller, is there, really?
No, there isn't. So, I don't know. Yeah, they got this one horribly wrong. They should have stayed 130 to 135 and made their money there. But, you know, what do we know?
Well, Terry Harper's ranked number 5 at welterweight, but I don't think she goes back up to 154. I think she'll stay at welter now. And she might look for, I don't know, would they put her in with Lauren Price?
But why would they?
Well, Lauren Price. I know
No,
she's Sky and that, but she's in the same weight division. She's from UK.
Yeah, but where's the money?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Lauren Price is not social media friendly, is she?
No, she appears kind of like Katie Taylor. She appears when she needs to, and then after that she disappears. I was actually surprised that they didn't just. I thought she was going to do the Olympics this year. I thought that was the whole point of her going up to the EIS and staying there, was they were going to get her to do the Olympics this year. So all seems a bit odd over there.
Why would she want to go back to Olympics when she's had pro fights? Can you do that now? You can't you?
I think if you've had under 6 bouts or something, you can still box in the Olympics. Actually, no, they just allow pros in the Olympics anyway. Remember, they let Hassan and Dam do it. So I think you could do it. But I found it odd that, she didn't do that, because she could have just been a 2-time gold medalist. And I don't think there's anyone there who's better than she was when she won her gold medal.
Well, Lauren Price has had 42 rounds as a pro. Right, 42 rounds, 42 2-minute rounds, and she's in a welterweight world title for 2 belts in Cardiff in May. So she's only had 42 rounds. You couldn't make this up, could you?
No, but give her credit. Like, how many times have we seen this process dragged out? And we're like, well, just let her fight for a title now.
Yeah.
At least with Lauren Price, she said, no, I'll do it now. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to give her credit for not faffing around and wasting our time.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think to the show as a whole? The show as a whole, Terry.
Solid Sheffield show, not spectacular, but solid enough.
Yeah.
It did what it was supposed to do, Russ. So good showcase for Dalton Smith. Obviously a good return for Sandy Ryan. So I mean, Eddie's got 2 names that he can now leverage, which is good. Who else performed? For me, the story of the night will always be Liam Cameron. So I'm happy for Liam. Interested to see what he does next, because if he goes down to 168, I think he's competitive. You could put him with most of those guys at 168. You could whack him in with Jack Cullen now. He'd probably win that. 175 is a bit different. I don't think Liam wants to really box at 175 for titles. I think he wants to get down to 168. But I'd like to see what Liam Cameron can do in the last 3 years of his career.
Yeah, well, Eddie's just piped up. Jesus. Eddie's Eddie's just piped up. Sandy Ryan. Eddie's hinting at Sandy Ryan against Chantel Cameron or Natasha Jones at 147. Oh. Yeah, I know. I can't see how they can put Sandy Ryan in with Jonas just yet. They need to build that up, don't they? Do you think? Man, Jonas might want to get out now, cash out. Do you think?
Is that a cash out fight?
I don't think it's a cash out fight, Sandy Ryan for Jonas. I think Katie Taylor's the cash out one for her, or Terry Harper. Do you?
No, don't think people care about Terry Harper. We talk too much about Terry Harper. She's irrelevant. If you're Natasha Jonas, you're trying to pull Clarissa Shields down to 154. That's really the cash out fight for her.
Yeah, but it's an hard fight for Jonas, that one, isn't it?
But that's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking at that fight, or I'd be looking at Katie Taylor. Nothing else matters for Jonas at this point in her career. The rest of it's just filler.
Yeah. Do you feel that these women are all like having 20 fights and that's just about it, really? You think that's all they'll have?
Well, there's nothing left.
Yeah, because they seem to be. It's like a round robin, and they've run out of dance partners, haven't they? Now after a couple of years.
Because they all faff around, like they should be fighting each other, rematching. It should just be getting on with it. Like, yeah. I think if they did that, they'd have made more money. But they're all here like, you gotta let it marinate. If we don't care today, we won't care tomorrow. Like you're not building it up. It's like I was saying to a mate of mine about the Lauren Price thing. They announced Lauren Price versus McCaskill. Like, who's signing up for pre-sale on that? I don't care. You didn't announce an undercard. Where's the undercard for that?
Yeah. Okay. Eddie's come out. He's done an interview going on about loyalty and this and that. And he's basically said that Dylan White didn't give him his 20% of the Fury Wembley money. And Dylan he's not got Dylan's back kind of thing, like he would like to have it, because there's not 100% loyalty there, because he was talking to other people and all that. Do you think Eddie's a bit sensitive? If fighters he works with, there's a chance that they might be talking to other people. Bearing in mind, he don't give everybody a contract, does he? Only Joshua.
He gives you a contract once you win a belt.
Froch never had a contract with him. He had 7 fights.
That's Froch, though.
Yeah. Dylan White.
Dillian's not Froch.
Dylan didn't have a contract though, did he? With him.
No, he didn't. But
Has Dylan done
we,
anything wrong contractually by not giving him Eddie his £1.6 million from the Fury fight, or because he was a mandatory? I know answer to this, but I'm asking you. But because he was a mandatory, does he have to give Eddie anything? Yes or no?
well, they don't have a contract, so the answer is no.
And Dylan's his own manager, so why is Eddie bitching about it when he weren't entitled to that 1.6 million off Dylan?
We talked about this the other day, didn't we?
Yeah. I'm just asking you.
The issue was
Eddie's come out and spoke about it, Annie, yesterday.
Yeah, but I think the real issue was Dillian was engaging other promoters to help him.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything wrong. Is Dave Allen doing anything wrong speaking to Andy Ayling and Bricktop?
No, wait. Hold on. Because remember, Dillian's not putting on this event, right? It's a Frank Warren event.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
what Eddie's saying, I think Eddie's got a point, is who do you want in your corner, Eddie Hearn or Ben Shalom? That was what he was saying. And he was saying,
is that the point we're trying to make, do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, if Dillian had just done it all himself, then that's a different conversation.
Yeah. Eddie got him into position for that Wembley fight and he didn't give Eddie his drink. I agree with Eddie on this. He should have greased his palm. If that were Dennis, he would have been screaming in that office and I would have been saying, that's another monster I've created. That's another one. Look, they've not paid. You know, like that kind of carry on.
Exactly. And I think that's Hearn's point. And it's rare that I agree with Eddie, but he's right. He's a whole
I see
we went through this journey together.
Coming from, yeah. I can understand that. But Dylan, he's done it to letter at law. So Eddie now will be thinking, if that's how you want to play it like that. But me personally, I don't think there's any room at the inn for Eddie at Saudi because he pissed Bricktop off with promotion on Fury fight, didn't he, Dillian? He won't help him out promoting it. And he didn't get Eddie his cut. So I think there's no room for him in Saudi if it's got to go through Eddie Hills and Bricktop. Do you agree?
No. If there's a money fight for Dillian will box in Saudi.
Well, they'll all swallow and take him back just like that, even though he's shit on them.
Well, if they're allowing a Saudi man to hold their hands when they walk out to the ring, mate, they will do as they are told.
Yeah. I tell you what, you know, when you look at it like that, right? There's Eddie there going on about what's right and this and that and blah de blah about his cut, but yet he's willing to let a man grab hold of them by the hands like he's leading them across the road, like it's the Green Cross Code. Let's walk across the road and hold hands. What is all that about, Terry?
Money.
Brassing themselves off. So basically, you can't have it both ways, Eddie. So I feel Eddie's paying on his 20% or £8.5 million, but you're not entitled to it. But I think you should have given him, or at least give him $1 million in cash. Eddie would have loved that.
Had him involved. Sometimes I think you need these guys involved. Man. Like people, look, we all like to give Hearn a kicking for the stuff that he says, but one thing I will say is, if you're going to get involved in anything to do with business and boxing, I'd rather have Hearn by my side, mate.
Oh yeah,
I just would. I would.
Do you think they've all ganged up on that Ben though, Shalom? Or do you think he's just made schoolboy errors, you know, in his matching and who he's signed and that?
I think he's just learning the game. Like, from what I'm understanding, everyone thinks it's easier than it is, right? You just assume, well, look, I've got a contract with Sky. Everyone's going to want to come to Sky. Then everyone starts sticking their oar in. Look, if you want this person to sign for Sky, I'm going to need a bit of money passed to this account or that account. And then you realize how murky the sport is. And that's one of the reasons I'll give Hearn credit. Do you remember when Dubois was turning over? And they went to Hearn and they said, look, we're being offered a signing bonus on this side here. Can you match that? And Hearn said, we don't do stuff like that. We give you a platform to make an insane amount of money if you're talented, but we don't do signing on bonuses. So that's that. I thought, there you go. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they certainly do. Okay, the Ben news apparently is going to be this week. Do you think that'll happen? The result?
Well, the verdict.
The verdict's this week, innit? They said. They keep moving it every Monday, though, don't they? Every Monday they keep giving us another date, don't they? Oh, it's going to be next week, and it's been going on 2 years, hasn't it?
Man, let's see what happens. I just want it. I just want it done. I think one way or the other, if he's going to cop a ban, let him cop a ban. If he's going to box again, let him box again. And then let's just draw a line under it, right? Because it's just dragged on to the point where it's boring now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Massively boring, isn't it? 5 versus 5. There's a few heavyweight ones in it, isn't there? But they're not giving us any names, are they yet?
The crazy thing is, right, we could get anything from Wilder Zhang to Solomon Dakers versus Johnny Fisher. That's what's crazy about this. So I don't know how the game works. Is it that whoever nominates the weight division has to nominate who the A side is for that division, and then the other guy has to nominate who they want on the other side?
It's just.
I was going to say that's what I want to know, because let's say because Frank picked the heavyweights, right? So if Turkey says, Frank, who's your heavyweight for the 5v5? If he says Solly Dakers, Hearn's not going to put Hrgovic in with him, is he?
No.
Hearn's going to be like, well, fuck, who have I got at this weight?
Well, this is when it gets complicated, isn't it? Because we've got 2 dominant alpha males who basically control their businesses, like Matchroom and Queensberry, dominated by Eddie and Frank now. Since when have they ever let anybody get into the nitty-gritty like this and dictate? But they're having to, because he's paying the money, isn't he?
Mate, there you go.
It must cripple him, because he could playing championship manager with fighters can get somebody hurt, can't it? Really, if you don't know what you're doing.
That's going to be the problem. So it's weird because in my head I can draw up a card. Like I could say it's going to be Wilder Zhang, Dubois versus Hrgovic, Willie Hutchinson versus Spider Richards. You know what I mean? Or Zach Parker versus Callum Smith. Middleweight, you'd be like Hamza Shiraz and maybe Emma Williams for that one. And then you've got featherweight, which will be Nick Ball. Be Nick Ball versus whoever Hearn got. I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be something like Ray Ford. Yeah. Because they still want to do Warrington Wood, don't they?
Yeah. They keep talking about Warrington Wood, don't they? But I don't see anything on paper.
But yeah, that's what I think the card should look like. But we could end up with anything. Like I said, we could get Solly Dakers versus Johnny Fisher. We could get Jack Hennigan versus some Kieran Conway. Do you know what I mean? It could turn out to be a big disappointment. So I'm waiting to see before I get excited.
Okay, 6 minutes left. Right, Sam Jones has come out on his Sunday sermons that he's done. Yes, I think he's done about 3 or 4, and he has set about Martin Bakole, something rotten. What do you think about that regarding what sparring videos and this and that and whatever? He's getting quite vocal, Sam, isn't he, on YouTube and interviews lately? He's the go-to guy, isn't he?
So credit where credit's due. Sam stood up for his guy, and he can tell me he doesn't manage him as much as he wants, but it looks like he does. Yeah. Otherwise, why are you watching the sparring? Why are you so heavily involved?
Yeah.
I think for Bakole to leak that video is him being a bit of a rat. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was Billy Nelson that did it. It's just wrong.
Do you think Billy Nelson and Bakole have done it out of frustration? Because, to be honest, they beat Olympic gold medalists and they're not getting rubber green, are they?
But okay, so ask the question: why aren't they getting the rubber green?
Because Bakole is not engaging. He's not a Brit, and I think basically that. And his style's not the best, is it? Not the most exciting, but he gets job done, doesn't he?
No, I think Bakole is the kind of guy who, if you got behind him, would do a lot of damage. If he had Hearn backing him, he'd do a lot of damage. So there has to be something that they know about him that we don't know.
Well, nobody sees him, do they?
It's almost as if they don't want this. It's that thing almost like someone knows that there's a scandal waiting with Bakole, and they just don't want to be there when the scandal drops.
Oh God, scandals, Terry. It's not looking good for Bakole, is it? Or little Billy.
Otherwise, no, but otherwise you've got to explain to me why wouldn't you take a guy who, on his day, can make mincemeat out of anyone? Why wouldn't you take him? So one of two things is true for me, Russ. Either what we're being told by Billy Nelson isn't true, and he's not as good as people say, and I've heard that because I heard that the Usyk thing wasn't true, or there's a scandal. I don't know which one it is, because we always hear these stories about Cody laying waste to people. I'm like, well, the Americans aren't even offering him money. So what is it?
Yeah. Or is he just such this Godzilla roadman killer that nobody even wants to look him in eyeball? Are we all that scared of him? Is he going to kill us all in our beds like David Price 10 years ago?
Well, Michael Hunter will look him in the eye all day, every day.
Yeah, but when Big Pricey were at large, man, we were all fearful, weren't we? For our lives. You know, with all the hype from Frank Maloney. It was proper, though, wasn't it? The prize power, because Tyson Fury didn't want to go near him, did he, for 2 years?
Well, what do you mean that they fought as amateurs? I think once you face someone once, I don't think you're scared to face them again.
But why didn't Tyson face him again then when it were called?
Why isn't Bakole with Matchroom? Russ, I don't know. I don't know. But
yeah, it's one of them things. I rated David Price, me. I rated him, and then when I heard about what he did to Joshua up at AIS, he poleaxed him. So I could never understand why David Price never really went for a world title. I mean, just bad luck, wasn't it, I guess?
Tony Thompson.
Yeah, I know he beat him twice, but or is it just one of them things where he got caught in that fight against Tony Thompson and he got found out there and then. But he had power.
Sometimes, man, like when you jump in with someone like a Tony Thompson and in your mind you're like, he isn't that good, and then he beats you twice, you're just not the same person after that.
Yeah, I think it's a shame. But okie dokie. Well, listen, thanks for coming on. Great to get you on a Monday. I know you're very busy, Terry, Mondays.
Yeah, man, it's a working day, mate.
Yeah. I better go face Kevin. I know he's back from Ascot today. He's Osfeld, isn't it, at Best Spence or something?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at Ascot yesterday, all that way down there. Day before down there, all the entry fees, no suit, shirt, shoes, all that nonsense. All them beers they've had. And it was all over by shouting after 20 seconds. I nearly lumped on it as well, but he says he'll make up for it on Wednesday when Burdett runs at Kempton, so we'll see, won't we?
That's the cost of horse racing, mate.
I better go get some graft done. Well, listen, you have a great day, Terry. Thanks for coming on.
All right, you take care. Speak to you soon, Russ.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Terry. Women love him, men want to be him. Yeah, I don't want to make this a roast about Terry Harper, but like I've said before, and I will say it again, if you've had 18 fights and you're 27-year-old coming up 28, and you've only fought at the same weight 6 times on the trot, how can you get into a rhythm and knowing where you are with your body? I don't know. I just think it's a bit of a mess going for money fights and opportunities instead of building a legacy. If you're good enough, the money will come. Don't ruin a good fighter, Graham Ricks. Okie dokie. Well, peace out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Booyaka. Anybody got any gonads? You want to face the pork this week? There is openings after Thursday. All right, for a couple of newbies, if you want to take me on here. All right. Don't get many takers, though, do we? Because half of you have got no gonads. Go on, peace out.